So today I'm reviewing a men's fragrance from the very classic Ralph Lauren brand, Polo Red. There are lots of Polo fragrances. You can see the very kind of simple, sleek bottle. So, Polo has been around for a long time, the classic jockey sort of thing. Polo Red is one of the newest editions, came out in 2020, so it's only a few years old, and apparently it has some unique notes. The vial here. So, according to this list, the top notes consist of ginger, cranberry, and pink grapefruit. All of those, pretty much, except for the ginger, are like sweet, juicy, not usually something you would see in your average fragrance, especially men's fragrance, which I'm curious, how masculine is it? I'll put some on. And already, yeah, the fruity notes are as juicy as I was expecting. The pink grapefruit is noticeably stronger than the cranberry, but the cranberry is there, and it has this little bit of tartness, which you would expect from cranberries. At the same time, there's this not sugary, but this natural fruity sweetness. And again, that's not something you would usually expect from a men's fragrance, but it leans a bit more on the unisex side because it's not super sweet, but it's definitely noticeably sweet. The ginger, I wouldn't say it's very prominent much at all. Ginger, fresh slice of ginger root, very strong, kind of astringent, fresh, and just super powerful. I don't really get that in this. It kind of just is not there, at least in my opinion. Mainly just the cranberry and pink grapefruit. Then the middle notes are clary sage, lavender, and labdanum, which is a kind of leathery, powdery note. And there is that herbal lavender sort of thing going on. Not too much of the labdanum. There's not really that leathery note. But I do get the base notes, which are opopanax, benzoin, cedar, musk, and guaiac wood. Guaiac wood is a pretty vinegar, musky sort of wood. And I would say the cedar is pretty prominent. There's also a very light resinous nature from the benzoin, the opopanax, and stuff like that. But the guaiac wood and the musk are pretty faint. Definitely, because some men's fragrances have very noticeably musky, leathery, heavy base notes, but I'm not really getting that with this. This is primarily a very kind of, not light, it's like moderate weight fragrance with significant sweetness. Very much a kind of body gel sort of fragrance, shower gel, like clean, soapy sort of thing, which is quite pleasant. This is definitely a very pleasant fragrance, kind of similar, not in terms of its profile, but in terms of its kind of agreeable lightness, similar to Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana, in my opinion. The ginger note is becoming a little bit stronger now that it's sort of, starting to settle, but it's a relatively basic fragrance, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of straightforward, Your nose isn't going to bounce from here to there to here to there on all these different notes. It has a select few notes. Some of them, I would argue, are not very prominent, like the ginger or the guaiac wood or, the muskier, heavier notes. But in general, this is definitely a very good sort of daytime casual fragrance. And It's definitely good for men who just don't prefer or don't like heavy, musky scents, because a lot of men's fragrances go for that. Or on the other hand, a lot of men's fragrances go for super sharp, super clean, herbal, ocean fragrances, citrus, This is more kind of moderate, warm, sweet, fruity, with a little bit of wood from the cedar. And that's very, very pleasant. That's a very nice, very casual, agreeable, enjoyable fragrance. And the main qualm for me is that the longevity is a little bit lacking. It's kind of moderate. Even now it's starting to kind of fade on me, so I'd probably have to put on significantly more for it to stick around. But this is relatively light on the longevity, probably 2-3 hours, maybe 4. So kind of depends person to person how long it exactly will last, but it's not a super long-lasting fragrance. It's not going to last 10 hours or anything. And the sillage is also, the projection is pretty light to moderate. It's definitely not one of those bombs that will fill up the room or anything. This is just very nice. If you want to just wear something at home just for enjoyment, this is a good option. Or going out for groceries, going out to work. Very simple, very pleasant, very agreeable fragrance. And I think it's pretty affordable. It's usually around $50 to $60, so if you buy the whole bottle, you're not going to really waste any money. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Polo Red from Ralph Lauren. If you have any opinions about this fragrance, you can leave those down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.